So a lot of the time when we're taking a look at decks in Magic, we often group our cards in terms of what they are, whether they're a creature type or creatures that fall into a certain creature type or tribe. Maybe it's something that you have a lot of different cards, but they all have some sort of synergy together. But you don't really get to see what we're doing today very often, which is grouping by a specific kind of effect. Like even sometimes you'll see keywords like the Surveil deck that I played a little bit come into play. But this is actually not even a keyword that we're looking at. This is just like the word exile is the theme that our deck is revolving around. And that is because we're running 4 copies of Ashiok Wicked Manipulator from the later Eldraine set. That allows you to do a bunch of things that revolve around exile, but also allow you to replace the card draw from Necropotence, or the card exile, with a exile that you get at the end of the turn, and a separate exile. So this is kind of interesting with Ashiok because you can get a lot of crap into your graveyard, into exile for you, and then you're basically able to, if this -7 is ever possible, you can just Necropotence your entire deck away, have enough to just mill your opponent out, and then they will die in their upkeep when they draw. So kind of a cool combo there. Personally haven't been able to get it off just yet, but hopefully in these games today we might see it happen. Other than that, Ashiok's a pretty solid Planeswalker in their own right because the +1 allows you to just gain some card advantage, which is always good on a Planeswalker, and the -2 protects Ashiok themselves, in addition to any one of the other 3 Planeswalkers that we might be running. We're a deck that only plays 2 creatures. That's 4 copies of Grey Merchant of Asphodel and 4 copies of Orcish Bowmasters, 2 pretty solid cards. But hopefully we'll be able to make sure that our Planeswalkers can survive, if not for Ashiok's little creatures that he creates, but also for the Liliana Wake of the Dead and the 2 of Liliana of the Veils to make our opponents sack creatures. We control the board with March of Wretched Sorrow, Fatal Push, I guess Orcish Bowmasters to some degree, and Sheoldred's Edict. Actually, Sheoldred's Assimilator is also a card in this deck. It's a one-off creature, the rare 9th creature in this deck. But no matter, these are all the things that we're playing to deal with the opponent's board. Ashiok Dream Render, the 3-mana Planeswalker from not Lord of the Rings, but War of the Spark, is also very good. Turns off a lot of the fetch lands that are popular in Timeless, and the -1 does help exile a graveyard for any graveyard strategies. And so, while we have this exile ability through the 2 Ashioks that are here, and I guess sort of the March of Wretched Sorrow feeds our own exile, Necropotence and Ashiok are probably the big ones to get out here. 2-card combo if Ashiok gets to 7, so we have a very big emphasis on exile here. Now the other thing is, this is a mono black deck. We're not playing a lot of creatures, so we may run into problems where we play a red deck and they're able to just absolutely run us down. Typically in Timeless and Historic, all of the MTGA formats, I guess, they have been kind of defined by these cheap, really effective and efficient kill spells like Fatal Push and Sheoldred's Edict. So these are going to be the ways that we really want to deal with our opponent's creatures for the most part. But if opponents, and this does happen, if they can produce these red decks that really just make a turn 1 and 2 that go wide, go pretty big, and just hit hard with haste, then sometimes that's not enough, and you have to find a way to get around that. And whether that's ripping more Fatal Pushes, whether or not that's going to be a good strategy, we will see. But the other thing that we can do in this deck is just basically try to gain a lot of life. Grey Merchant chunks our opponent down, but it really doesn't gain that much life for us, especially in the early game when we A, don't have permanents, and B, can't make 5 mana. It's probably a good idea to run our other kill spell, which also happens to gain life, March of Wretched Sorrow. And that kind of just shores up the big problems that I'd say this deck has. The idea being, we just really want to make a lot of mana, survive a few turns, land a Planeswalker, and then just go to Value Town. I think it should be possible in the current Timeless format. Decks aren't incredibly aggro. There's also not a huge amount of combo that we have to deal with. So we may be in a situation where some sort of control mid-range plan can thrive. The land base includes 4 Nykthos Shrines to Nyxes. Devotion is pretty strong here because we are playing Necropotence, and obviously Grey Merchant cares about Devotion as well, so a little sub-theme there, but for the most part Nykthos is here to just make sure that we can power off an Ashiok plus some other spell down the line once we have a lot of permanents in play. Field of Ruin takes out other land space strategies. I guess we kind of do have the primetime decks, but those are kind of few and far between as of late. And the other interesting thing is Fabled Passage, and I'm running this instead of the actual fetch lands because of the aforementioned life total issues, where we just want to make sure we're not killing ourselves when we don't have to. Once we, get to the late game and want to do that, then it wouldn't be too bad, which is why we are running these 2 castle locked lands. But other than that, it's a pretty standard mono black mana base. With the exception of the hybrid Ashiok, this is essentially just mono black Super Friends. But I think for the video title, I'll probably call it something along the lines of Exile Tribal. Regardless, the video must go on. Make sure to check out the deck list in the video description below, and like and comment on the video to help me with the algorithm. And the final thing is to make sure to like and subscribe if you're new here. Helps me out a bunch. So let's hop in round 1 and see what this Exile Tribal has in store for us. Alright, here we go. This is our round 1. We open with, unfortunately, not a insta Necropotent start. We do get to turn 3 Liliana, most likely, even if that means we have to Demonic Tutor for a land on turn 2. Opponent keeps 7. I'm not sure that I want to keep this. 1 Fatal Push is nice. Liliana to Edict is pretty solid. But we really don't have a path to 3 lands, and we're a little dodgy if we need to produce 3 black mana on turn 3. I'm going to mulligan. This feels better. We can immediately Dark Ritual into Liliana, and then we have Grey Merchant Ashiok down the line, although I think I'll probably just bottom the Grey Merchant. We'll pass here and then decide if we need to insta Liliana. I think this is probably a good situation to instantly Liliana in. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen here because of the land situation. It is what it is. That's how I decided to build the deck, and if I was willing to take 1 more damage, maybe we would have been in a better place right now. It's actually okay, though, because while they've assembled the team, the Llanowar Elf is not going to be doing anything. They make an Elvish Mystic. We can at least take them down 1 mana, or we could go ahead and do an Ashiok. That could be kind of nice. So we produce 6 mana here. I would be able to march away something, maybe getting rid of my Liliana Waker of the Dead. Could be pretty good. I think, though, Liliana the Veil I might sack to March of Wretched Sorrow. So we'll just go ahead and double Ritual here. We go for an Ashiok. Ashiok's going to probably minus. And then we March of Wretched Sorrow for 2. Getting rid of Liliana the Veil. Now we've exiled something, so when we go to combat, we will be solid. And there goes Elvish Mystic. So they can produce at most 4 mana next turn. And we have 4 power with a 5 mana Planeswalker on the battlefield. Feels good. They take a turn just to assemble the team. That's great. And then I'll have to decide if I want to Ashiok minus or plus here. We actually just rip another March of Wretched Sorrow. That could be nice to just kill the Llanowar Elves with. Either way, I can get cards into exile depending on how I decide to go with Ashiok. I think that Ashiok plus might be a good move. That way we can decide on Liliana later. Or decide if we want to exile her later. Yeah, I think what I'll do is we will get some more cards into hand, which powers up March of Wretched Sorrow a little bit. Shieldred's Assimilator is also kind of nice. Would I like to have that? It does give me good graveyard strategies, but I do need to hit a land drop, so that's what we'll choose. We have 6 power. I'm not really worried about Ashiok dying next turn, so we will swing in for 6. They decide to block. And this feels great. We get to have a Liliana next turn, and now it's just going to be show and tell here. We'll see what we need to show and tell against. This was probably Omniscience. Okay, one with the Multiverse is basically Omniscience. Sure. And what do we look at on the top? This is going to be Ulamog. Will it take our lands or our Ashiok? Okay, so that's bad. March of Wretched Sorrow is not going to be good here. We need to draw exactly a Dark Ritual here in order to be able to Liliana and make them sack a creature. That's unfortunate. So while we were feeling pretty good here, this is a problem. So if I draw a bunch of cards here, Ulamog might not be terrible. I think I need to hold this March of Wretched Sorrow and try to kill the Ulamog at some point. We draw Locthwain. Not going to really work for us here. We're going to exile the top 20 here. We can take about 2 hits of that before we die. They just have to not play a creature, and I have to find a Liliana here. A 3-mana Liliana, that is. Demonic Tutor. I believe this is 1 from hand. So I think we just get comboed out here if they have the potential to do it. Otherwise, they just Ulamog again. That could be Ulamog taking out my 6/6s. We will see. Overall, not feeling super good about this anymore. With the one with the multiverses coming down. So that will be the Omniscience, makes sense. And I think now I'm in a situation where even the Edict doesn't help me. That's unfortunate. On their end step then, we'll have to March of Wretched Sorrow, the Elvish Mystic. That's probably Natural Order? No, Diabolic Intent. Okay. Liliana draw is back on. Mastermind's Acquisition probably means that they can pull Scholar of the Ages plus another Mastermind's Acquisition and then get to, what is it called? Approach of the Second Sons here. So I think that's exactly what they're doing here. Let's go ahead and just cast our March of Wretched Sorrow and show them what we had. This will just be a March for 4, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom. And we'll just minus their Ulamog. Seems good. So let's now let them execute their combo, unbothered by my priority. Eventually, they have to be playing that Scholar now. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. So this is Harness Infinity rather than using Scholar of the Lost Ages. That's kind of cool. I really enjoy seeing this card be cast. That's pretty cool. Technically not better because it does exile. But who knows? We're really not in a position to interact with their combo at all. So there should be 2 copies of Approach. No, it's Thousand Year Storm. Oh, this is fun. What do we get from here? So that's 10 cards out the sideboard. You got it. Okay, I think they just have an inventive kill out of the sideboard, but I'm here for it. Always fun to showcase something new and on the fringe for the channel. So there's Tendrils, that's a thing. Oh my god, it's Revenge. This is such a cool card. So this basically just halves me until I'm at 1 life left. 13, 6, 3, 1, 0. And they go up to 480. That's so cool. So Revenge, this is not one that I ever see. That's a very different and unique way to combo out from Show and Tell. I do appreciate this rather than seeing kind of the same thing over and over. So props to opponent for putting that in their deck. Anyway, that was round 1. It looks like we'll be looking for a win in round 2. Here we go. Okay, here we go, round 2. Hoping for some redemption after round 1. This is a lot lower to the ground hand, which I do like, and I think I will keep. We start off so that this Fabled Passage can not hurt me too much, and now we definitely have 3 lands, so we will be good if we draw another Fabled Passage down the stretch. Polluted Delta. We will see if this is Thoughtseize or Brainstorm. Big choice here. I wonder if this is a deck that is deciding if it wants to Surveil. No, this could just be Brainstorm. No, it's a DRC. Okay. All the same, Orcish Bowmasters is great for me. We just have to hope they don't have too many of these baubles. That puts 2 types in grave with the bauble. Cool, so Bowmasters is a great blowout here. Would have loved to have the 2 mana before they drew, but it's all good. That DRC goes away. Now we got 2 on the battlefield, 2 power. Thinking that Shieldred's Edict and Fatal Push are going to line up really well against Delver, so I'm happy to have this. Oh, this is the Surveil deck that I played. I love this deck, for the record. So this can find Surveil lands, which triggers Thoughtbound Phantasm. Absolutely beautiful. Yep, there's a Surveil. Thoughtbound Phantasm gets big until it's a 5/5, and then presumably it would be able to hit in without Defender. Would definitely recommend you taking a look at my version of that deck, because it was a whole lot of fun to play. For us, though, we do get to drop a Necropotence here, and I will use that just purely for card advantage here. We'll take probably 4 cards since I already have a land in hand, and we're okay to assume that we draw probably at least 1 land for the 4 cards that we draw here. Definitely not attacking into a 3/3, so we just say go. We'll take our 4 cards. Lochthwain's better than Fabled Passage. Field of Ruin, they are in a vulnerable land situation here. We do know they play Swords to Plowshares. And then we actually probably want to keep this Nick, though. So I think, yeah, the Fabled Passage goes away here. That can get exiled. Unfortunately, does not count the 0 pips in there. Or the number of cards in exile. I guess it does kind of help me. Anyway, Enhanced Surveillance. Yep, this is very similar to the deck that I played. I don't know if it's based on the same one. I don't think I played white. I think I was in Grixis, if I recall correctly. So we'll have to see if there's any unique things other than Swords to Plowshares that they play here. Looks like we're going to get our turn. I believe that I want to start to Ashiok them. Land for turn is Nykthos. That makes a total of 5 mana for us here. I can Ashiok plus Edict. I like that. Alright, let's attempt the Edict. Each opponent sacks a non-token creature. And then once that is dead, we will exile the Grave. And yeah, here begins our slow path to milling out the opponent. So we activate Ashiok, target them. I don't need to mill from my graveyard. And we do actually see another white spell in here. What was that? That was No More Lies, another counterspell that's come up recently. We have 2 lands in hand, so I'm probably taking 4 cards here. I don't want to go balls to the wall in case we find our March. We don't have the mana to cast it. They're kind of giving me the rope here a little bit on these Necropotence triggers. That's the one kind of annoying thing about playing Necropotence, playing for it or against it. Could be that they've decided that Ashiok turns off too much Surveil and they are out of here. Give them a little bit to make a play, which, okay, now they think they're back. They are here to Swords to Plowshares, my Orcish Bowmasters. That's fine. That's already done what it needed to do. And we will take, yeah, total of 4 cards, I think, here is responsible. I could go 5. I think I won't, though. Not totally sure if I want a Field of Ruin. They seem to be playing basics, so maybe that is my discard. Okay, well, we have redundant basic lands, so I'll get rid of those. We have oh god, I can't even speak. We have backup Ashiok, which is good, and now next turn we have Wicked Manipulator as well. Consider, you got it. Basically, we want to get this Ashiok out right now, and then just get to a point where we can Necropotence for the win. Expressive Iteration, that seems like it's coming a little bit out of desperation. They must have missed their land drop pretty badly. And there is the Polluted Delta for them. We have not really shown them a lot of aggressive damage, but that's about to change next turn. And yeah, the Polluted Delta turned off by Ashiok. Like I mentioned, that's why that version of Ashiok is in this deck. So pretty convincing win there. Our next turn was going to be really good. We would have had our 5th mana, 7 with Dark Ritual, so that would have been Ashiok plus Fatal Push, plus if we wanted to exile a bunch and go for our March of Wretched Sorrow, we could have done that too. So feeling pretty good about how that game went. And I think the opponent was very unlucky to not find another creature after that Dragon's Rage Channeler and Thoughtbound Phantasm. I guess there were 2 of them, but anyway, good round 1 or sorry, not even round 1. This is a good round 2 in my book. Let's go for round 3 and try to get another win. All right, round 3. Brain Train on the other side of the table. We have early Liliana, early Ashiok. I think I'll keep this hand. This does actually have that problem about not having an untapped castle turn 1, so this early Liliana would kind of suck, if not for the fact that we just drew this. Now, this makes me think of Belcher, but Bala Ged Sanctuary in of itself makes me think of Show and Tell, because Show and Tell has the line where you loop Bala Ged recoveries with Chandra once you have an Omniscience on the battlefield. So the question is, do I want to Ashiok right now or Liliana? I think if they cast Show and Tell, we're going to be using it to get an Ashiok of our own into play. I don't really think I'm worried about a Belcher. I think it could be the case that I'm just interested in a Liliana of the Veil hitting their hand. Seems pretty solid. So let's do that. I think that I don't want an Ashiok, honestly. If they're playing Bala Ged Sanctuary on and are in Belcher, Ashiok doesn't really hit anything. If it's a Show and Tell deck, I mean, Ashiok really just helps with the ability to find your lands. I think that the Demonic Tutor is going to be better for me than the Ashiok will be. Let's see what they discard. They have Dark Ritual. At least green-black. Probably Belcher then. Yeah, this is definitely Belcher. Okay. Oh, and that's actually just Channel, so we're straight up dead. Okay, well. I think that probably must be Belcher now. That was probably a Chromatic Star to... Oh, maybe they don't have the Belcher in hand. These 2 Chromatic Stars couldn't both be for checking if I have priority or not. This is definitely bold. Let's see what they do. That's 2 new draws. Wishclaw Talisman finds Belcher. Yep. And I think from here that's just 7 mana to the face. Alright, we are dead. That is a pretty solid hand from the opponent. That Belcher, or not the Belcher, the Channel would have been great. And as it turns out, our Ashiok Dream Render would have been a great play instead of Liliana. Unfortunate. Did not make the right read there, but you know, you live and you learn. Next time I'll know. Okay, maybe not. What is Chromatic Orrery here for? What are we doing? They make 5 mana. They play Omniscience. Boy, am I surprised. What is going on? So we have a Wishclaw Talisman. All of a sudden we have 3 Nykthos mana. Can't make use of it. We can Demonic Tutor. We can continue to make everyone discard, I suppose.
We all have things we'd rather.
I think I need my Demonic Tutor. That helps me because next turn I can use Demonic Tutor, get Dark Ritual, then I cast Ashiok, so I don't need this 4th land. I think I want my next land to be a Nykthos, but then that means if I draw a Necropotence I can't cast it. I think it has to be this Castle Locked lane. That doesn't feel super great for me. So I guess I just go Demonic Tutor for... where is it? Ritual. We don't want to give them another Wishclaw Talisman. They're at 3 life. I guess I could have just taken Bowmasters. Here's Lockthwain. Here's Ritual. Maybe a counterspell, Veil of Summer. Oh, this is fine. We can just immediately make them discard that. There's 5 mana. Let's just say each player discards a card. Easy choices. They just found Chromatic Sphere, and then suppose we just exile the top cards of our library until we find a kill. So I think I don't... Oh, actually, you know what? I think I want to take the land. Because then I can Wishclaw Talisman next turn, find Bowmasters, and maybe get close to a kill. I think I should have just minused the Ashiok, put him on a 1-turn clock. That was kind of dumb. So now this is search for a permanent card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Oh boy, am I dead? As long as it doesn't have an ETB, Liliana can take care of it. Karn the Great Creator, unfortunate. What do they get here? Liquid Metal Coating? Aetherflux Reservoir. Oh, they want to... They want to do something crazy. Anyway, let's go for the Ashiok. Let's go for the... Oh, let's just go for the -6 on Liliana. I never get to do that. So it's basically pile 2 for Omniscience. I guess pile 2 for Karn Omniscience. No, Karn Omniscience kills me. We need to separate Karn and Aetherflux Reservoir, though. And then Planar Bridge, and this should be separate. So that's meaning I put this thing that makes mana, this thing that doesn't care about having mana, Aetherflux Reservoir. Yeah, okay, I think I'm happy with this. Okay, should be hard. And then, of course, we are able to probably kill next turn as well, so that's going to make it hard for them. Plus, we have Bowmasters now, so... Karn being at 3 means that Bowmasters kills him. Alright, not too bad here. I actually never really get to do the Liliana the Veil -6s, so this is fun. I think opponent may have just decided to not ever resolve this, so... I suppose we'll just go ahead and wait this one out really quick, and then we'll move on to round 3. Once again, just a reminder to make sure that you check out the deck list in the video description and do all the YouTube stuff, which helps me out a whole bunch. Liking and commenting really does make a difference. Every time we have a good little like train, it really just does improve the reach of the channel here. So really excited to see that as we close in on the 500 subscriber mark that we've been working towards for a while. I think as I record this video, we've hit just about 475, so just 25 more to go, and we are there. As always, all the likes and stuff help. So anyway, here's a Bowmasters. We'll ping them for 1, and this top deck from them is going to have to be extremely, extremely good if they want to win. We'll pass. Planar Bridge, not going to do it. They go to 3, and they have to pass. Let's go ahead and Ashiok Plus as opponent goes ahead and concedes. Looks like we were able to make it work. I'm surprised they decided to rope but then came back. That's the not typical behavior unless they just alt F4'd and then reloaded the game thinking that they were going to be out of it. Anyway, round 3 is in the bag now. Got 2 more to go. Hoping that we can finally get to that Ashiok -7. That would be pretty cool, but not necessarily counting on it. At any rate, we got a -7, or we got an ultimate off on one of the Planeswalkers, so that's definitely something to celebrate. Here comes round 4. Okay, here we go. This is round 4. Hoping that we can make this work. Children's Edict is our only removal spell. I think because of opponent's mulligan, I am happy to as well. They keep 6, we'll keep 6. Liliana is going to have to be a Children's Edict. if we end up needing that. Otherwise, we're going to try to save this ritual for Ashiok. Tutor can find ritual number 2 as well. Opt. Just a pathway, nothing scary. We'll go Fabled Passage early. Seems good. And Impulse, we're looking for a lot of cards here. Opponent's probably got a few cards that they really, really need to hit. Let's go for Demonic Tutor. What do we want? Maybe it is just the mana. We could also get a Necropotence. Necropotence is good. Yeah, let's take Necro. We can do Necro, keeping 2 mana available. I like that. Breeding Pool untapped. Utopia Sprawl, sure. Ooh, there's that March. If we only had a target for it. So I guess I go Lockthwain into Liliana, possibly. Oh, I can actually just get into a Ashiok right now. There's an Ashiok. Make some creatures. Get going. Demonic Tutor, you got it. That might kill our Ashiok. Or at least bounce him somewhere. Looks like they will play black. Okay, so Sultai is what we're dealing with. I think now it's time to use Necropotence. See if that resolves. Yes, it does. So we'll go ahead and make 2 more little guys. Make sure that we activate Necropotence prior to combat. That's 2 activations, 3 activations. We'll go for a 4th. And now we have a bunch of cards in exile, which is good for Ashiok. Let's move to combat. All these guys get big. Oh yeah, that's hit for 4. Next turn it's 12. So, feels great. 1 land. 2 land. Do I want Field of Ruin? I guess Field of Ruin's smart. That can take out the Breeding Pool. And we exile 1 card. Okay, so let's see what opponent's got. They're ramping to what? Well, show and tell makes sense. I can show a Grey Merchant for 7 here. If I play a Liliana, that means that if I were to Grey Merchant next, it'd be even more. Bowmasters, they're probably not going to draw cards because I think they're just playing an Omniscience. Yeah, I think we gotta put in a Grey Merchant. I'm just debating Grey Merchant or try to get more with Liliana. I think it's just going to be Grey Merchant. There goes Grey Merchant. We could have ramped with Field of Ruin. Yeah, here comes Grey Merchant. So that's Omniscience. We drain him for 7. Justin attracts. That's not the worst thing. Now the question is, can they combo kill here? Unfortunately, we get permanent priority with Necropotence, or Necropotence gives us priority at all given times. They're just going to loot these Atraxas. They didn't even bother to leave the one that had Summoning Sickness. More assemble the teams. They should be able to combo kill if it's something that they have the ability to do. So assemble the team. They don't even care about that one of the multiverse because that's functionally just a less good Omniscience. Assemble the team. You got it. Gonna need to find those Masterminds acquisitions because I think that's probably what they're going to be going for. This is their play pattern pure is kind of showing me that this is Storm. I don't know why you would cast so many assembled teams in one turn if this weren't what you were trying to do. The question is, okay, another Atraxa, sure. That's Atraxa number 3. Let's actually look at what they're taking. I see Lorien Revealed, A Chroma's Memorial is in here. You got it. And there's Emrakul the Promised End. And that just means they can kill us with our Necropotence next turn. Okay. Another Dominus, sure. Sure. And that is some big, big hasty creatures. Alright, well that is unfortunately something that we can't really win against. Got sort of close, honestly, with the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. If we just had a little bit more devotion, then that could have been a really cool way to win a game off the back of someone else's show and tell. Anyway, that was round 4. We got one more coming up. Stick with me here for the 5th and final round. Alright, it's final round here. Let's get it. Dark Ritual does give us early Ashiok. How's that going to be? I suppose I do want to keep this. I mean, it is eventually going to be Ashiok. Oh, and we're just playing a Leyline deck. Okay. What are we doing with Leyline of the Void and Anticipation? I mean, this has to be some sort of Geist kind of combo. I'm really confused. The mana that they played does not really back up what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, we'll play a little reactively here and then wait to see what the first move is. Our primary move is going to be increasing our own devotion. Oh, hello. That's fun. So this is just juggle the performance. Interesting. Okay, so Leyline Ritual. I can juggle the performance again, which is kind of funny. Let's play... Well, we don't need red, so we'll just play black mana. Let's go Dark Ritual into Necropotence. I think that is a great way to start getting some cards back into my hand. Leyline, I don't care. Void, I don't care. Mizzix, I would like to keep. I don't care too much about that land, so it's only really one card that I want to keep. I'm going to probably look for 8 cards with Necro. I think their hand of 7 cannot be very useful. Fun way to steal a combo, though, that's for sure. So with 8 cards, I think I'll go for a 9th. Alright. And hopefully our new 8 is going to be better than what they ripped from me. March of Wretched Sorrow, pretty useful. That's 2 Nykthoses, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep Mizzix's Mastery, 5. Is Gary going to be useful? Not sure. We definitely want Ashiok. Maybe more so than Gary. Gary's not good yet. I think I get rid of this Mastery. Okay, cool. A lot of cards go to exile. That's 35 total mana in exile with Ashiok, so I think I really got to put some serious considerations out into getting an Ashiok on the battlefield. Okay, so we will play the Nykthos. We don't have to show Nykthos yet. We'll just use Bowmasters as a way to increase devotion. And then we will Necro a few cards as well. They got Leyline, so they can cast stuff whenever. Ping them, see if they drew a Bowmaster from me. Of course, we have March of Wretched Sorrow. I think we will probably take 1, 2, 3 cards, maybe. I'm not sure if I want to kill my own Bowmaster token to gain some life back. I think I'm going to go a little bit deep here. We'll take another 5 cards, putting us up to 10, and then we'll use March to discard a few and kill our token. Alright, I think this is fine. Be able to sculpt a little bit better here. Although, it's not that I necessarily don't like my hand. They have responses. I wouldn't mind seeing a Bowmasters. I think this is a good time for me to get rid of it. There is the Bowmasters. They actually decided to go to face, so we'll go ahead and... Actually, we won't bother to do this yet. Okay, so we'll take all these back. The Fatal Push is actually good as well. And one more. We're going to keep double March. So I'm going to cast March for at least 2. Probably getting rid of the Ashiok. And then I think I want other March. Maybe... So I think I need this Dark Ritual. So let's organize this hand a little bit. Nykthos is good. Demonic Tutor, this. Fatal Push. We want Dark Ritual. I think I just got to get rid of some lands here. So maybe I go for 4. Getting rid of 2 of these. Targeting the Bowmasters they just played. Okay, cool. Gain some life back. And then we only need to discard 1. Fatal Push on their own Bowmasters would be kind of gnarly. Yeah, it looks like they will decide to do that. Maybe not. They're looking at Leyline for some reason. If they can interact, I think they should. Yeah, I think they're going to kill their Bowmasters. Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. So we will be at 4. Good thing I didn't go too much further. We will pass, discarding the Takenuma. That can get exiled. We'll pass. Phyrexian Tower uses my Orc Army for an Ashiok cast. Okay, another Bowmasters. That really is just a ping to my face. Okay, now it kind of unlocks their next card, if it happens to draw. Shieldred's Edict. So they just want to clear my board. That's fine. Okay, actually taking damage like that is less fine. Okay. I'm going to move to my turn. We can play this Phyrexian Tower. Now we have to do the Dark Ritual move. This is a total of 6 mana. That's enough for an Ashiok. Ashiok's going to have to minus. Then we will Fatal Push the Bowmasters. We will take... Oh man, but if they have another Bowmasters, I die. I don't think I can trigger with Necropotence. I gotta play a little safe. At least we do get the Exile trigger. We'll pass. We get 1 good trade. Ashiok is still sticking around. Demonic Tutor can find something good. Actually, Demonic Tutor could find, and we would be able to cast a 3-drop, so we can get a... Okay, so I'm definitely blocking. That's for sure. That might be a Bowmasters in hand. Yes, it is. Okay. They keep looking at Leyline every time. Don't really get it. Okay, so as Marcha Richards are killing Ashiok. Kind of unfortunate, but at least this 2/2 is going to become a problem for them. Here's a Nykthos. Demonic Tutor can find something. Can also play a Bowmasters. I think I just need the Demonic Tutor, hold what I find, and then play Bowmasters. We'll get another Ashiok and just go for the 7 mana, or the 7 loyalty thing. I will not do anything here. I mean, this is at 7, it's going to mill for 51, which is more than their deck has, so I'll just try to survive. We got a 3/3 now. They're looking at what card in the graveyard? Juggle the Performance. Oh, hello. Well, we'll play an Orcish Bowmasters. Put that to their face. Unfortunately, we lose our Ashiok now. Sure. Could be worse. It is kind of bad here, so just a lot of ley lines. They're basically trying to make my deck bad. Juggle the Performance is quite an interesting deck. I will give it a try on the channel here at some point. It's really just funny because the deck construction ends up being so bad. For us, we're now in a pickle though because we don't have the ability to pay life to Necropotence very comfortably. I'll play a Pathway. And maybe I just play a Juggle the Performance. They have 48 cards, I have 34. This is just a Conjure, right? Yeah, so Juggle doesn't do anything for me. Abundance also doesn't do anything for me. Necropotence kills me if they drew a Bowmaster. This is just 7 random cards from the library. So, could they have found a Bowmaster? I have 1 here. I have 2. Oh, they've only seen 2 Bowmasters so far. They definitely could have drawn one, which means that I don't think I can really do anything but attempt to attack. Bowmasters can't come in now, so this is a free attack. We'll get in there. I'm going to use this Leyline of Abundance. No, I'm not, because I can't produce green. Leyline of Anticipation kind of makes sense. I mean, who knows? I'm not sure that anything is super useful right now. I guess I'll play... Really, it's just the Leyline, that's it. Alright, I guess I'll take another 7, why not? Hopefully what they drew wasn't good. Uh oh, here's Dark Ritual Bowmasters, I think, so that means that I definitely was dead if I activated Necropotence. And yeah, I think I'm dead. Unfortunate. Was not expecting that. Scheming Symmetry, you got it. Lots of exiles happening. Okay, so looks like this opponent was actually able to make it work with Juggle the Performance. I'm very proud of them for being able to do that because I haven't tried yet, but this is a deck that's on the recording queue, and I am definitely dragging my feet on getting that one out because I think the games are going to be tough. But this will serve as a pretty good template, and I think I will get it out on the channel at some point. At the very least, that is the end to the video. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing this deck. Definitely kind of a tough one to make work. Decks are very quick in the Historic and Timeless format, and this may be a sign that we are still a little bit too slow to make our Ashioks work. But Ashiok Wicked Manipulator is a very cool card, and the combination of that and Necropotence is definitely a really cool pet project to work on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. All that YouTube stuff helps out. Deck list will be in the description, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think that's all from me. Make sure to let me know how you thought the video was, and I will see you in the next one.